Hello everybody. Today we'll talk about triggering in acoustics. So what is triggering in acoustic measurements? It is often required to start recording at a given time or once a threshold has been crossed. A trigger would thus initiate in starting a recording once a defined condition has been satisfied. For example, start recording if the pressure is greater than 1 Pascal. Now, why is triggering even required? We can do it manually as well, right? But then the point is, you need to be consistent and you need to be precise. And it's difficult or mundane for humans to be consistent and precise. It's better can be automated using the triggering process. So there are different types of trigger. The first is a pre-trigger. Now, pre-trigger, as the name suggests, it captures the time data before the trigger was active. It is quantified in units of time. For example, let's say if you set a trigger of start the measurement once the pressure reaches 1 Pascal. So a pre-trigger of 1 second would capture 1 second worth of data before that triggering condition was active. We'll see this with an example. The next is a post-trigger. So usually when recordings are initiated by a pre-trigger often end with another trigger called as a post-trigger. So this is like it captures the data after the entire recording is complete. Let's say we capture the data for like 10 seconds and then we have a post trigger which would capture the data after the 10-second elapsed. So post trigger is also quantified in units of time. A 1 second post trigger would capture 1 second after the recording was completed. So why do we need triggers, pre-trigger and post-trigger? So the main purpose of a pre-trigger is to signal the start of an event. And pre-trigger provides insights of the moments leading up to the event. Both pre-trigger and post-trigger are useful in detecting and identifying deviations that are responsible for triggering the event. And when we have knowledge of the situation before and after event, it can be very useful in troubleshooting. So this is an example of a measurement with a pre and a post-trigger. So this is an impulsive event. As you can see here, you can even listen to it. So we use a pre-trigger. First of all, we use a trigger to initiate once, the condition is met. For example, if the pressure is more than 0.5, we can say that is a trigger. But then we also have a pre-trigger, which captures whatever set amount of time before the event started, and a post-trigger for the particular amount of time after the event ended. Now, there is something called as a negative pre-trigger. A negative pre-trigger, as the name suggests, is negative, like it would wait for the specified duration before capturing data, although the measurement is already triggered. Negative pre-trigger is quantified in negative units of time. So a negative sign implies that the pre-trigger performs a subtraction operation instead of an addition operation. So if you have a regular pre-trigger, which is like quantified in positive units of time, it's going to add up to the total measurement. Let's say your measurement is for 10 seconds long. And if you have a pre-trigger of 1 second, so that 1 second is going to add up to the 10 second, and your total measurement is going to be 11 seconds. Now in this case, the negative sign implies that you're going to subtract it from the total measurement time. So if your total measurement is 10 seconds, if you have a negative pre-trigger of 1 second, so your total measurement time is just 9 seconds. So this negative 1 second captures data 1 second after the actual recording was started by the trigger process. Now we'll look at it as an example, which it'll make you understand better. So this is a use case of a negative pre-trigger. This is just switching on the car and then let it idle. So you can listen to the sound first. So in this case, we have a situation where we turn the ignition on and then let the car idle for a short amount of time. And in this case, I want to trigger the measurement. So I use the impulsive start of the starter engine as a trigger to start my measurement. But then I'm not interested in that impulsive clicks. I just want the idling sound. So as you can see here, it's marked that we are interested only in the engine idling noise. We're not interested in the initial, impulsive clicks. But we need the impulsive clicks to trigger the measurement. So it works both ways. So we use the trigger, we'll use the impulse to trigger the measurement, but then we get rid of the impulse using this negative pre-trigger. I mean, you can do this manually as well. You can record the entire thing and, cut down and do the editing, but then it's more efficient to use a negative pre-trigger in this case. So to conclude, a trigger initiates a start of a recording. Once a defined condition has been satisfied, it can define multiple conditions. Pre-trigger and post-trigger data is useful in detecting and identifying deviations that are responsible for triggering the event. All right, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.